What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday, everybody. So, KB and Karen, you guys are both early. What's up, y'all? If you guys are on the replay as well, we're going live in 3 hours for the free Amazon class as well. So, should be a very, very good one. We got some new stuff to jam with you guys as far as like AI sourcing, which is pretty cool, and then getting prepared for Q4 and kind of just squeezing the rest of back to school here as well. So, really, really good free class inbound for you guys. The link is below. Just need to get your invites on a private Zoom call, basically. And yeah, let us know what other what questions we can answer for you guys as well here in the meantime.
Yep, and that content's not shared anywhere else, guys, too. So not only is it an exclusive live class that we don't post on YouTube or anywhere, but there's also a bunch of sauce that we don't share anywhere else for free. So make sure if you haven't yet been to one of those, tap in with us tonight in exactly 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 48 seconds. right there. So yeah, it's 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. And in the meantime, let us know any questions too. So yeah, good to see you, Karen. Always getting the sauce from Miles and Warner. Thank you guys. Of course, Karen came to the LA meetup a couple weeks ago too. Which was fun.
Karen's been popping into streams a lot. Good to see you, Karen. What's up?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So good question from M. Henry here. So is 3 to 4K enough to do OA and wholesale or just OA? Yeah. So I mean, technically, you can find diamond in the rough wholesale suppliers that have 500 minimum order quantity, 250 minimum order quantity. It's just like not the best use of time, in my opinion. So like you could do wholesale with that budget. We would totally recommend getting started with online arbitrage. That's more than enough to get going with OA. You really only need like 1,000 or two budget to get going on the online arbitrage side of things and everything. So for OA, right, literally you can see the blueprint to get started tonight, the free class, but you just need an Amazon seller account. That's $40 a month, like $50 a month for basic shipping supplies, and then SellerAmp, $20 a month, Keepa, $20 a month, and then Boxem, which is $50 a month. Right there in the rest of the budget for inventory. So no need to worry about paying for ads, cold calling suppliers, showing your face. You literally need none of that to do online arbitrage. And we're going to show you all the blueprint tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern right there.
Yeah, it's higher margin too, Henry. Wholesale is like a volume play, right? So a lot of wholesalers will even still do OA because it's the more profitable part of their business, and then just wholesale to make sure they spend all their money.
Yeah, just to keep it nice and consistent. So Yolanda the Random says, yo, I'm trying to get my feet wet to learn the basics. Hey, we're here to help. So you let us know whatever questions you got in the live chat here as well. So Heather says, yeah, hey guys, newbie here. How long does inventory usually take, or how long does inventory usually take to become stranded so I can recall it back to my prep center? I will be there later since I missed last week's class. Okay, stranded. So for what reasoning?
Yeah, it depends on why I went stranded, Heather.
Yeah.
If it's in stranded, you can remove it whenever you want. There's no wait period. If it's in stranded, there'll be like a reason that it'll give you to like fix it though. So usually the instructions they give you on that page will work. You can get it back in your inventory. It really just depends.
And then any of you guys who kind of unsure how stranded inventory works and everything like that. So basically say you get like regated on an ASIN, or if an ASIN gets deleted for whatever reason, or you get, like that, an IP complaint and that listing gets reserved removed, it'll go to stranded inventory where you have a choice over what to do with it, which you'll typically do a remove order for it. Amazon's kind of weird about stranded inventory, how sometimes even when like an ASIN's good to sell, you still have to like hit refresh on it and everything to let it go back to it. And everything, but yeah, we're here to help with all that stuff.
Yeah, just check it out there. What up, Adrian? How you doing? How does OA work? Doesn't Amazon require supplier invoices? Yeah, they do. And every time you buy, you have one, right? Like, yeah, you just get an email from Walgreens, Walmart, Vitacost, wherever. That's your invoice. Yeah, you wouldn't see like 7, 8 figure resellers doing OA, and you see a lot of them if it wasn't allowed, right? Because you wouldn't get away with it for long enough.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the tough part is like sometimes when you submit those order confirmations and receipts, Amazon be like, oh, this is a retail confirmation. We've been doing this for long enough, literally combined almost 10 years at this point, that, you just kind of don't worry about those denials right there, because what could be more of an invoice than an email right after you buy that says what you bought, where it's going, who you bought it from that supplier.
Yeah, a lot of times like directly from the brand too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the nice thing about, arbitrage is typically most brands only come from one place. right? Some bigger brands will come from multiple places, but largely, if it's an online arbitrage listing, right, brand, products come from one place, and you're good to go to find them right there.
See, I think they're confused on like they said Amazon doesn't allow sourcing from Walmart, eBay. So I think what you probably heard is you can't source from third-party sellers, which is true, right? Because you don't know that some random Walmart seller has authentic product. You don't know some eBay seller has authentic product, right? You do know that, Walgreens.com sells authentic products, right? It's pretty important to them that that for the publicly traded stock that they're selling real products, right? So that's maybe the misconception there.
Yep. Jose says Amazon playing with my product shipping to 30 different warehouses. Yeah, so that's the key, guys, this time of year, and really just from what we're seeing, the way the Amazon market evolves, you primarily, if possible, want to be doing optimized shipments on Boxem, which will be 5 unique boxes. So if you load up 5 identical boxes in Boxem, and so 5 identical boxes ready to roll, the same composition of items, it'll go to 5 unique warehouses across the country, and there'll be no placement fees, faster check-in times due to less FC transfer, less fulfillment center transfer, and more buy box share because your inventory is spread all across the country there.
Yep, playing hot potato with it. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. If you only had $50 to start, what would you do? Not sell on Amazon. That is not really enough. Yeah. Go do DoorDash or something for a month. Come back when you got a grand or two. You can start for pretty cheap if you like used books and that kind of thing, picking up free stuff, that kind of thing. But yeah, you want to have like at least a grand or two. We're not gonna tell you, say that you're gonna get rich starting with $50, right? It's an inventory based business, so you gotta have money for inventory.
Yeah, you need cash flow, unfortunately, right? You need cash flow there, right?
Yeah.
Like technically you could, like if you got a bunch of time, right, get a second job and look into like flipping stuff on Facebook Marketplace and everything. Honestly, but just in general, like you need money to do this, and Warner's 100% right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can definitely hustle your way to a few $100 on Marketplace though. Just like flipping all the classic stuff like furniture and random electronics, and yeah, for sure.
It's just a good skill to have. You know what I mean? Turning $1 into $2. Like a lot of people do couches and stuff like that. Heather says my prep center received in error. I shipped it. By the time I reconciled it against my invoice and shipping confirmation, it already made it to the Amazon warehouse. My inventories. Oh, okay. I got you. I actually don't know if you can remove order stranded inventory in FC transfer. Might not be able to do it, but make sure the price is really high on that product just so it doesn't sell right there. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, damn. Okay, so Booth Fund, man, you're awful new to already have a VA on that, but never let your VA tell you what to do.
That's
the Philippines told me to do profit share with him, sending the product to a New Jersey warehouse for processing. He doesn't require a base, strictly profit share. Is that a good idea? Bad idea? Bad idea, 100%. You shouldn't have a VA right now.
Yeah. If you're asking like you're not allowed to source from Walmart, then you don't need a VA.
Yeah, not
yet. That's like you're making plenty of money. You have plenty of money in the sidelines. You just need help scaling what you already got going on. If you're getting started, then debt, hiring people, that kind of thing, it's only going to amplify what you're already good at. And in the beginning, it's nothing. You just need to build that initial skill set. Then later, you definitely can. You're advised to delete the listing.
Or that. Okay, good point.
Yeah,
okay, sure. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, if you delete it, it'll go to auto stranded. It can't sell. Let's see. How do you find a good virtual assistant? Onlinejobs.ph is where I hire most of mine from, but there's a it's not super complicated. Just kind of finding somebody that you want to work with. Basically, I've got a video on YouTube, David. If you're at that stage. Let's see. Is it a scam? It's probably not a scam. It's just a virtual assistant trying to create a job for themselves. I respect the hustle, but you just don't need to. Sure. You don't need to pay a virtual assistant yet. If you're obviously you're pretty new to the game. If you have a lot of money on the sidelines, there are some things you can do to grow faster. Invest in the right tools, education, that kind of thing. But virtual assistants, anything that like amplifies your business isn't a good idea to amplify as like a brand new business.
Okay, so good question from Jessica here. Jessica says, does it matter how many people are on a listing? In other words, is it bad to get on a listing with 50 other sellers? So that's a great question because some of the best listings I've ever sold on have over 50 plus sellers. And some of the worst listings I've ever sold on have 2 sellers, right? It's all about the volume on that listing. So if you're seeing on the Keepa chart a ton of really, really good movement, that's a good product, especially if the offer count's steady or going down and the price is steady or going up. Meanwhile, if there's 100 sellers and there were 60 a week ago, the competition's shooting up, the price is probably starting to tank. You totally want to avoid that. Basically. So it's all about the trend and how fast the product sells. And that I wish there was kind of a black and white answer I could give you in respect to competition, but there's not, unfortunately. Per Chris Grant, yes, sir. Shout out CTS. Just wanted to see how long it would take to become stranded. That's all. Guess I'll hurry up and just wait. Sounds good. Did you have a prep center your first Q4? I didn't. I got a prep center about 3 weeks after
the dining room, the living room, the kitchen, and the extra bedroom. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so the order of
those are all the prep center. Yeah.
Yes, this is a good tip from Warner there. So a lot of holiday and Q4 success, right, comes down to FBM, so merch filled, right? Now, some prep centers will do FBM, right, but a lot won't, or a lot don't, right? It's more tedious for them, right? And a big benefit of FBM, and especially taking advantage of holiday demand, is really just going super, super hard for like the 4 to 6 weeks that shit's super, super popping, right? And a lot of like the magic of FBM is like getting a listing in and then listing it, like getting an order in and listing it immediately, right? Or even potentially listing it before the product even arrives, if you trust that supplier and everything, right? And all of that is so much more quicker and amplified when you do it yourself. And you might be thinking, okay, but isn't it not worth the time to fill those individual orders? It totally is when you have that type of leverage and speed and capability, because of how much higher demand is during December compared to other months, right? So if there were ever a time not to have a prep center, which if you're beginner is pretty much always, right? It's definitely during the holiday season, and Warner and I are going to have tons of content coming for you guys on that stuff, especially if it's your first holiday season. And by far, the best place to start taking advantage of that is come to the free class then and take notes and ask questions, because we're going to have you guys super, super well prepared for everything we're about to jam on tonight. And it's going to be a really, really good thing, talking about like AI sourcing stuff we've literally never showed before, a bunch of product research sauce we don't share anywhere else for free. As well. And you'll be able to be there literally with us on the Zoom call live, asking any questions you have, and everything. Yeah. So M. Henry, you're thinking the right way, man. I say buckle down and hammer FBM this year yourself, and then look to get started with the prep center for your FBA inventory come January there. But like Warner was saying, right? So, you take over the living room, right?
You got to get somebody in your house mad at you. If nobody's mad at you, then the house isn't full enough of inventory.
Exactly, right? And then you have the living room as well. Or sorry, the bedroom. The bedroom's the first to fall, right? And I'm gonna recycle a classic tweet about that.
What's up, Gold? Just said there's an item that sells fast, doesn't have the badge. Yeah, the badges aren't like on everything. They're also not always accurate. So just go off like SellerAmp estimates, basically. What's up, KB? You said you have an agent averages about 100 sales a month. Amazon was on the listing 2 months ago. The most recent sale was at 16. If you're profitable at 16, then go for it. Yeah. If there's no one on it right now, those are great. You like come into the listing at like 20, 25, and then ideally you're like close to break even or making a little bit at 16.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks. That helps. Of course, Jessica. Let's see. Do we answer this one for gold yet here? Boom.
Yeah, let's see. Cool. Boof is saying he's got a bunch of friends who sell on Amazon saying it got harder because of all the fees. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the fees have gone up about the same amount. I was curious on this the other day. I ran the numbers. The percent of total revenue that my business has paid to fees went up between 2021 to 2024 by 1.1%. If that is enough to kill your business, then you don't have a business. You know what I mean? So if 1.1% killed your friends' businesses, then like it's like you should get better than 1% at sourcing after 3 years of experience. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean the only thing that has actually made things harder is that like as a brand new account, you have less opportunity than we did 5 years ago. And I only see that's only going to continue. So start selling now, so you get all those opportunities while your account's the right age, basically.
They do wholesale, not OA. And that's dope that you got friends that do this already. Like that was such a hard thing when we got started, was finding
Yeah,
people.
that's a big help. That's a big help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you have friends that do wholesale, then that could be your small advantage where it might make sense for you to do some wholesale, right? Just based on the questions, I would still dive in on some OA because it's naturally going to make some mistakes and that kind of thing. But the friends should be hooking you up with a little bit of help here and there. It'll be easy for you to avoid those like classic mistakes a lot of people will fall into.
Yeah. Okay. So Steven says, if you can't afford Keep or SellerAmp, what is a free app that does the same thing? I used to do Craigslist free flips to fund my resign, but all in arbitrage is so expensive. You got to do a lot more free flips, man. If 40 bucks a month is too expensive, not that that's a problem. Like I've been there too. Like I literally, when I started selling books on Amazon, I didn't use any software for like, I think months, which is
all of us tried to do things like the really dumb way. Yeah. Trying to save $40 by costing yourself an extra 20 hours a month. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the decision making improvements that you lose not using SellerAmp and Keepa isn't worth it at all. Right there.
Yeah. Hit those free flips. Once you got like a grand or two, you'll be able to afford it. It'll make sense.
Yeah. So GLMF says, is it better to charge shipping on a product selling FBM or incorporate that into the cost of that? Okay, about to put y'all on game here. Very, very, very important here. So charge free shipping for FBM and just factor it into the cost, right? Because when you sell something FBA and ship it to Amazon, you pay FBA fees, but you don't pay individual shipping. And when you sell something FBM, you do pay FBA fees, but you don't pay FBA fees, but you do pay individual shipping. And what are both of those fees based on? Size and weight. So it ends up being about the same, right? So if I go ahead here and hop on screen share, I'm going to show y'all how you actually calculate that because this is very important. A lot of people screw it up. So if we go here, we go over to this item here, right? We can see. So this weighs, 11 ounces right here, right? And it's going for 22 bucks in the buy box here. So in order to calculate the FBM profit, I don't just subtract shipping from here. I don't do that whatsoever. Instead, I scroll down here on SellerAmp and I toggle this to FBM to take a look at the FBM calculator. And then I need to make sure I plug in the FBM cost right here. And if you want a good walkthrough on the FBM cost, just go to howtofbm.com. It's a free guide we got for y'all right there that'll show you the FBM cost on that item, right? So it's very, very important to go ahead and plug that in right there. It's very, very important. And a lot of people, miss that.
For sure. So do you need a tax exempt for OA? It can be helpful on some sites, but the vast majority of them don't even take it. So if you want a tax exempt, just ship to a prep center in a state with no sales tax.
You don't need it, but
I don't really. I would say I buy from a site that takes one maybe once, twice a week, just because a lot of times the sites that take them aren't great at creating margin on those sites.
Yeah,
there's no coupons and that kind of thing usually on those, like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, that kind of thing. They don't run like limited time deals as far as OA goes. There's a lot of like, especially hardware stores, is crazy retail arbitrage. There's a couple people that's like been crushing on that lately. Sweet. KB said, I'm trying to read how much you've paid in shipping fees in the last 30 days. You can just look at the profit tile on Boxem. You'll be able to break down all your different fees and stuff. If you look at Seller Central, it'll be item by item. So you just have to like download it, make an Excel yourself, and so on in the transaction view.
Hey, man. Appreciate you, Booth Fun right there, man. I think this is your first time coming to stream, man, but we do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Monday. In terms of just hopping on here and giving you guys some game, answering you guys questions, about how to start and grow your Amazon business the right way as well. We have the free class coming up in about 2.5 hours. It's going to be really, really good content for you guys on everything you need to know to start and execute on this stuff for Q4. Ooh, Booth Fun got to get right, man. Yes, you got a meeting scheduled with Aaron. That sounds good right there. Cool. So we'll be on for another 10 minutes or so, guys. So let us know what questions you guys have. And then we have the free class coming up tonight. And then I posted a really good online arbitrage for beginners video a couple hours ago too, as well, which is going to be really, really good content for you guys as well.
Bang. Just finished another free course this afternoon. Got another like hour or two long video headed to you guys as well.
Hey, Booth Fun, man. You know, you're a nice
fire
guy.
away, fire away.
Warner's a nice guy. I'm a nice guy, but we're here to answer your questions, brother. So fire away, man. As you know, it's like as much as I love sitting here on camera here and everything, we're here to answer y'all questions. So
It's a better show if you guys ask questions. It's not very fun for us to just sit here yapping and staring at each other, right? Let us know how we can help. Let us know how we can help. He said, "What's a good yeah, man, we just go to how to FBM. Yeah. See, we get in a prep center if you need $3 profit per unit. How do you find the extra profit? Yeah, you just adjust your profit standards accordingly. Because the nice part is usually it's cheaper to ship to a prep center unless it's like a really cheap item, right? Because let's say even you're in a decent state where it's 4 or 5% sales tax, that kind of thing. If you buy a $20 item, it's going to be break even to send it to a prep center. If it's $1 to prep, basically, right? So it's pretty uncommon that that's like a huge issue unless you're buying a bunch of cheap stuff.
Yeah, and that almost always it's going to be cheaper to do.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Oregon. Okay, that changes it for you then.
Oh,
yeah, because you already you unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you don't get to use a prep center for a little bit. It might make sense, like if you have anyone in your life that wants to make $20 an hour prep and shipments for you, working out of your house or wherever, that makes way more sense for you than getting a prep center because you're already in a state with no sales tax. That's a big advantage. So don't throw away your advantage by going to a prep center. Then you're level playing field. About to break 100K in your first year. Any recommendations on scaling up? Yeah, congrats on getting there. The main thing that's gonna get you beyond 100K is just, I mean, you have a lot of good products. So how do you get as good as possible at restocking those? How do you get as good as possible at looking at item A that you already sell and realizing like, oh, all I need is this coupon from Vitacost, and it makes a ton of stuff in the same brand profitable, right? It's just like any opportunity you already have. How do you make it easy to kind of make the next one?
Boom, boom. Before I decide, you guys, do you guys not familiar with it at all? I mean, there's tons of ways to make money online. We talk about what we're familiar with and everything, but not super tapped in.
Yeah, I actually used both of those softwares back in the day. Like 5 years ago. That's funny. I used those for like 3 months and I made like $60, $100 profit or something like that. I ran the numbers. I was like, how much am I making really on this? Because I sold a bunch of stuff and then you realize, oh, each sale is like $1 in profit. Great. So it didn't really work in 2021. So I doubt it works in 2025.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Jose. Yeah. Yeah. What the stuff that works though is whatever you commit to for 6 to 12 months and really put in a lot of consistency.
No, absolutely. There's definitely still people out there just going absolutely crazy.
Way harder though.
Amazon to eBay drop shipping, like it's still 2018 or something like that. Somebody's got a good system for it. That's like you're saying, that's the big thing. Is like the longer you stay in the game on something, the easier it is to like find that thing that works for you, even if a niche genuinely does become less opportunity, like probably eBay to Amazon drop shipping is. Somebody's still crushing it though, just because they've been doing it for so long.
Darius says, how long should a test run of a product run before I decide to take it off Amazon? Ooh, okay. So Daryl, like you would never kind of take your product off Amazon if you're doing reselling because like you're not creating the listings. Ideally, your test order sells out of a listing that you're looking to grab for all in arbitrage. What if limited space? Make it work, Denise. You sound like a young king. Make it work. I promise you can. Make it work. Make it work. Make it work.
Yeah, you got corner of the room, whatever you got to do. Yeah, whatever you got to do. Or I mean, and then if you're actually buying enough stuff, then get a little storage unit or something like that. Small warehouse you can split with somebody. Like, yeah.
Yep. Booth Bun says, I'm working a 9 to 5. How can I build this without a VA? The same way everyone else does, right? No one should get a VA from the get-go. Most people don't till they're doing over 20K a month in sales, which might seem like an astronomical number, right? But when you get the ball rolling, but put in some work and you'll start to see the path and everything. Typically, once you have like 1 to 2K in sales, you start to see a lot more auto engages coming in, but Detta, go plug in Cuddle Duds, go plug in Dan or Shoelaces, go plug in Stafford. A lot of stuff's going to be auto engaged for you, even as a complete beginner right now. Like that stuff, if you're hitting request approve and apply to sell, it'll be good to go.
Yeah, and on the 9 to 5, like there's a bunch of videos. Miles and I have both interviewed probably at least 10 to 20 people each on both of our channels that still had a 9-to-5 when we interviewed them, or quit their 9-to-5 after they scaled with the 9-to-5. Like, you know, no one has the luxury of just like throwing everything away and going full-time on Amazon, right? Like everyone you see that is full-time on Amazon now at some point had to balance it with their other things going on.
Yeah, and that goes for any business. You know what I mean? Like, you know, money's made with skills, not businesses. Like what business you do has a lot less of a indicator of how much money you're going to make versus who you are and what skills and mindset and everything you have. You know, KB, how can I join into Miles' program? I put in the info for a one-on-one, following the link on the channel, but doesn't say anything about the program. Don't know if it's the same. Looking forward to it. So KB, what would be different with it? That's the one Jose should be referencing, because there's not like another one basically on that. Now they require invoice. Yeah, keep submitting what you got there. Yeah. And then storefront stock, 2 of those listings as well. And you should be able to find other similar profitable brands, probably from the same suppliers, honestly.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you.
We're also still seeing smaller invoices still work for that too.
Yep. Also,
that's all I've been doing.
Yep. And so, guys, in about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 32 minutes, we got the free Q4 holiday season preparation live class going down. So that's going to be really, really good sauce for you guys. We're very excited to hop on and start jamming on that. Got a really good presentation coming for you guys tonight, and new AI content for you guys too, as well. Ilyas Ali as a hooper, that's beautiful. I'm new with profit margins on this, so it depends. But as a beginner, you should target right around 15%, maybe 20% if you're doing more retail arbitrage. And long term, it's going to go down a little bit further to more like probably around 10% once you start to delegate some stuff out and really build the skills, which might not sound like a lot, but when you're new to a business or new to any business, it's going to take a while to get good with everything.
Yeah, basically a sliding scale of like 10 to 20, depending on how much work you're actually doing. If you're doing very little, you're going to be like 10 margin. That's what I'm shooting for, since we pretty much have the team doing all the work. Auto and Gates got insane after like 30K in revenue. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's what I've tended to see as well. Is anywhere from as low as like 5 to 10K is where you start to get a lot of Auto and Gates going. Yeah. Got you, KB. Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Let's see, Dennis in East Boston. We got 2 Dennis in chat now. How do you properly project profit on books with SellerAmp? You can just plug in like the used price if you want, but it's more so for scanning new things. You can just use like the SellerAmp for used stuff.
Ooh,
At what point should you buy the Lambo?
See, now that's the best question of the day there. Yeah, now you're asking the important ones. Right
as soon as you have your first like $5,000 profit month, it's got to go straight to the Lambo. Yeah, make sure you can't afford anything but the Lamborghini.
Yeah,
living out of it. Yeah.
So Dream says, how can one use Boxem? How can one use AI to help with Amazon FBA and FBM? So that's actually a great place to finish off, because tonight we're going to be digging into the best new way to use AI for Amazon sellers, as well as a ton of other good content. So make sure, if you haven't already, tap in at the link in the description. It's go.thefbaroadmap.com/register. We'll also drop it in the chat. It's completely free. It's going to be really good stuff tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, right there. So we'll see y'all there, and excited to get going. We're going to get prepared for a little bit more tonight, and y'all have a great one. See you guys soon.
Absolutely. See y'all soon.
See y'all later.